All right, that's the Thompsons with their latest song, Backroads, which they just put out here. Hey, you're listening to Truck Talk, and Truck Talk is brought to you by Ontario Truck Driving School, where you can get the best training in heavy equipment and trucking in Canada here anyway, and you can learn more about them at otds.com, so check them out for all your training needs. Hey, today we are talking about hauling the vaccine. Have you ever hauled the vaccine? And if you're not sure about this show, hey, welcome to Lead Pedal Radio. Happy New Year if you haven't, or if I haven't already said that to you. So this show it's every day, Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. We just throw out a different topic every day and we talk about it. And so this one, I gotta say, came from Erica Olson. Big shout out to Erica. She's with Fleet Advantage down there in Florida. And I thought it was interesting. She sent me an email, I guess it was a while ago, probably back in December there, about truck driving and hauling the vaccine. And as we know, here in Canada too, as well as where I am, I think all across North America, there's been a challenge in getting this vaccine out, right? A lot of people are going, what is going on with it? How come we can't get it here? And Fleet Advantage had some concerns that they put out in their, I guess it's their newsletter or online survey. They found that 32% of the executives surveyed said the bandwidth to transport the vaccine that we have it. Another 32 said they were interested in transporting it, and 33% also stated they were looking into possible cuts. So how many people are changing their operations to handle the vaccine? Now, that being said, a lot of people go, yeah, I'd like to get into this, but you got to have the bandwidth to do it, and you got to have the equipment to do it, and you got to have the drivers to do it. That's the biggest thing. So what I want to know, and I'm on Twitter at the same time right now, is if you're a driver, have you ever hauled the vaccine? If you're a company owner, what kind of driver do you want hauling this vaccine? I imagine this has got to be the equivalent of hauling money, right? It's not somebody you just give it to your worst driver and say, go on down the road, Joe, hope you make it. You got to have somebody who is dedicated to handling, being on time, handling all the protocols that I'm sure are in place for this, and for making sure that they do what they say they're going to be doing and willing to follow the rules. And I imagine it might be a fast process in some areas, but it might also be a slow process in others. And I think that's what's going to happen for a lot of this. So that's the question today. What's it like to haul the vaccine? If you're a driver, is this something that you would want to get into? And the drivers that are doing it, if you're somebody who's hauling it, are you getting paid more? Are you, is this, you feel more special doing this, or is this just part of your everyday job? We went across this back in March when things happened with the pandemic, right? All of a sudden, drivers became heroes. Hey, I know I drove for 25 years. Most of the time, we're just pieces of, I'll leave the rest of that out of there. But, when the pandemic started, we became basically essential workers, and we knew that we were essential workers already, but people started thanking us and giving us all kinds of stuff, whatever, right? So now we're wondering, now that you're hauling the vaccine, does that step that up another level? Does that take it to another level? So that's what we're talking about on Truck Talk today. Feel free to let us know. You can comment on our social media pages. You can send us a message if you want to go to leadpedalradio.com, click join the conversation. Hey, and if you know what, you want to listen to the whole show, because we got music, we got some other stuff that we put into it. We can't stream it all here on Twitter. So we're going to jump off of Twitter here very shortly, but the show does go on, and you can listen to the whole thing at leadpedalradio.com. Just press the player button. There's no charge. It's free. And if you got an Android device, there's actually an app for it. I don't have an Android device. I've got an Apple device, but if there's an Android device, so if you got an Android device, just put in Lead Pedal Radio, see if it comes up, and you can do it all from there. So, hey, you know what? While we're getting started with that, let's play another song by the Thompsons. This one's called Miles and Miles, and then I'll come back and we'll talk some more about this. And right after that, I'm gonna leave us on Twitter until we come back. All right, so let's get started. Miles and Miles. This is from the Thompsons. This is one of their old songs, which are one of the classics, all about you truckers.
Of me, I can see the light. Miles and miles.
All right, so that's Miles and Miles by the Danny Thompson Band, now known as the Thompsons. Hey, I got to give a big shout out to Ozzy in my head, who's joined us, and I Got Cash app too. I wish I had cash. Maybe I should talk to I Got Cash. All right, so we were having some fun at the same time. We're talking about what have you ever hauled about the vaccine? A couple of questions I put out are, A, have you ever hauled the vaccine? And 2, what type of driver does it take to haul the vaccine? That's what we're trying to figure out for today. So let us know what you think. Again, this conversation was sparked by our friends over at Fleet Advantage, Erica Olson, sorry, Erica, and she said 65% of the fleet say they don't have enough drivers to handle the vaccine. And we got drivers out of a job. I don't get it. And then more than a quarter say that they've got concerns about aging truck fleets and the ability of to successfully deliver the vaccine without roadside breakdowns. Now, that's a critical one, right? You cannot have equipment that's going down. And I was listening to, there was another one that I put up. I didn't put it up. It's another one I was watching. And I'm just trying to find out what that one was. This is a guy who his fleet was actually hauling the vaccine. And it's a YouTube video I saw, and it was, I'm not going to play it, but it's, no, don't play. So this guy was hauling the vaccine and said that his fleet was set up for that, but even though they're a specialized, now they were a contractor on behalf of UPS. So UPS hired them. So really, it's not just about one company hauling it, it's about their network, right, and what they can do. And so this guy was saying that, you know what, they're all very specialized, and but even their reefers, and he was saying no truck can get down to the, what is it, -70 that the vaccine needs to be at. So he says it's all about being able to, you know, having that quality equipment and being able to, you know, make sure that everybody, that it can stay as cold, that everybody's being on time, that the plan is in place ahead of time so people know exactly where they've got to be, when they got to be there, how they're going to handle it once they're there. I imagine it's a flurry of activity. I know from the little bit I've seen here, and in Canada, we've had a heck of a time trying to get it out. I don't know. That's all they've been talking about on the news, is that they could never really get it going anywhere or doing anything. And so hopefully that's going to change over the time, because we need it out there. But the one good thing about all of this is that it elevates the driver personnel profile, right? So as someone who drove for 25 years, I can tell you that the people who get picked to do these special, so, you know, just as we were talking, you know, let's say you got 50 trucks on your fleet, and you're one of the fleets that are okay to work this. Not all 50 drivers can operate it the same way, right? So let's say out of that 50, you got 20 that you can depend on, will get it there on time, will do what they got to do. There's usually about, I always say there's 20% at the top of the fleet, 60% in the middle, and another 20% at the bottom. 20% at the bottom, I'm not giving them something like the vaccine. They're taking all that popcorn or whatever, right? So you got to make sure you got the people in the fleet. So that's hard for most fleets. Even if they got the trucks, even if they got the equipment, even if they got the contract, do they have the driver personnel that can handle that? And I'm not down on drivers, because I think we're all amazing, but we all know, and you can talk to if any driver says we're all equal, they're lying. You know that most of us are not equal. So that's what you gotta look for. So anyway, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about, have you ever hauled the vaccine? And we got some other stuff. There's some other news from Erica coming up here very shortly. What I'm going to do, hey, you know what? Let me do it right now. Let me do it right now, because I was going to do it afterwards. But Fleet Advantage, she sent me this. I said I'd put it on today's show. She didn't know I was planning on, Erica didn't know I was planning on talking about the vaccine. I just thought it was a good topic, and I was reading about it. She's got some other great stuff here, so let me just share it with you here while I'm on here. One of them is that Fleet Advantage helped Kids Around the Corner Foundation. It made a donation of $50,000. So Fleet Advantage's Kid Around the Corner Foundation made a donation of $15,000 to the women in distress of Broward County. So good for you. Good for you. That's pretty amazing right there. And then there was another one I saw, which I was impressed with, and I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Where did it go? Where did it go? I had it this morning, and then I probably lost it again, because I have a way of doing that. Oh, Fleet Advantage, they received the 2020 Supply and Demand Chain Executive Green Supply Chain Award for second consecutive year. So congrats over to Fleet Advantage. So, you know, I like to help the people who are doing good in our in our world is who I like to help, and hopefully they're helping others too. And Erica, thanks for sending me all this information. It's great to see it there. So, okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to jump off of Twitter here. I've been on long enough. Again, let me just see who else came on. We had Ozzy and my head on, and I got Cash on. Feel free to leave us comments under this thread. Keep it going, and I'm going to jump off, and I'll be reading what your replies are and your tweets, because not everybody's on this right now. But we'll keep it going. We got some great music coming up, and we're going to start it off. We got some more news and stuff coming up as well, but we're going to start it off with our friends over the Road Hammers. This one's called Keep On Truckin'. If you're hauling the vaccine, keep on trucking. So I'm going to start this song. I'm going to sign off of our Twitter account here, but the show keeps going at leadpedalradio.com. All right, thanks very much. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you later.